Hi friends, welcome to today's video. My name is Josh, and in this piano tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to play the song Daylight by David Kushner. Now, this is a pretty simple, pretty easy piano ballad, so I really encourage you to give it a shot. Even if you haven't heard it before, check it out, and if you want to try and learn it, here we go. Alright, so there you go. That is what we are going to be learning today. There are a few different sections that you have to learn, but they're all pretty simple rhythmically, and also there's not too many chords, a few, but lots of repeated chords throughout. So anyways, I'm going to be walking you step by step through the song, so whatever your skill level is, that you can learn to play it for yourself as well. But before we get started, I just wanted to remind you that if you're getting some value out of today's video, be sure to drop a like. That really helps support me and my channel. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see all of my videos, and let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed it, have any suggestions, song suggestions, whatever. I really appreciate that and love seeing your comments. Anyways, let's get into the tutorial. Alright everyone, so this song is going to be in the key of A minor, so we're going to be playing all white keys today. So that should keep it nice and simple. So one thing I do want to mention for this song is that the tuning of the song is a little bit sharp, meaning that if you play it on the piano and you try to play along with the song, you're going to sound like you're slightly below kind of the tunes. Your piano is going to sound slightly flat compared to what you're hearing in the original song. So just be aware of that. If you can adjust your tuning, if you have like a digital piano like this, you can change it if you want to. But of course, you can still play the song like I'm going to show you right here. It sounds pretty close, just not perfect. Alright, so like I said, there's a few different sections we're going to learn for this song, 4 different ones precisely, but they're all pretty simple. We're going to start here with the intro because it's kind of the simplest, and then we'll go through some of the other ones, but you'll see there's lots of the same elements in each of them. So let's get started with the intro. So in the intro here, we're going to have 2 lines here, and our first line here, we're going to start here with an F major chord. So we're going to play F in the left hand, C, F, and A in the right hand, okay? That's an F major chord. Now a simple F major chord might look like this in the right hand with the C on the top, but by bringing it down below, it just gives it a bit of a different sound, and we just call that an inverted chord there. So that's an F chord, okay? For our next chord, we're going to go down to a D minor chord. So we'll play D in the left hand, D, F, and A in the right hand. Okay? And for our last chord here in this first line, we're going to go down to an A minor chord. So an A in the left hand, and then we'll just play C and E in the right hand. If you want to fill out the sound a little more, you can add this A as well, but it's a lot of hand movement, so it's a lot simpler for me to go from the D minor just to the A minor like that with just the C and the E in this right hand. Okay, let's repeat that first line. We have F, D minor, and A minor, okay? Now in the second line, what we're going to do is we're going to start exactly the same, F, D minor, and now we're going to go to C, okay? So this is very similar, but just now we have a C in the bass, and then C, E, and we'll add this top G as well. C major chord right there, okay? So now let's talk about the timing of these chords, or you might call it the rhythm, okay? So we're gonna be counting 4 beats in every measure, okay? So for the first chord, F, and then the second chord, D minor, those are each gonna get 2 beats, okay? So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then our last chord, which is gonna be either the A minor or the C, we're gonna give that a full measure or 4 full beats, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that, all right? So that's pretty much the rhythm that we're going to be playing throughout most of this song. That'll be the intro, verse, and chorus, and I'll show you those in a minute. But basically, yeah, we're just going to play first and second chords are just getting those 2 beats, and then the third chord of each line is getting a full measure, a full 4 beats, okay? So you pretty much now know how to play the intro. There's just a little bit there at the end of the intro on that C chord. Just a little bit of a transition there. So all we're doing there in the right hand is we're just playing beat 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna go back to our F chord. And I'll talk about this G note in a minute here. That's kind of a transitional note, but for now, C chord, and then we'll go into our first line now. So this is gonna be the verse, okay? So the chord progression here in the verse is actually one of the ones we used here in the intro. So it's just gonna be F, D minor, and C, okay? And we're gonna use that same rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that chord progression is gonna get repeated 4 times here in the verse. So here in the verse, and kind of moving forward for the rest of the song, we're not gonna just play the single chord and then just hold it as we count, like this, like we did in the intro, but we're actually gonna play the right hand on every single beat, okay? So here in the verse, that'll sound like this. Counting with that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Nice and simple like that. So you can really just play the verse like that. Like I said, that's going to be repeated 4 times, that chord progression. But there is one last thing that I want to show you here, and that's those transitional notes that I mentioned just a second ago. So to add those, all we're going to be doing is we're going to be repeating the left hand note kind of right before we change chords, and that's going to be like an 8th note before. So if we're on our F chord, we'll count beats 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay? So you see on that beat, on that and of beat 2, we're going to repeat the F in the left hand, and then go down to our D minor. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. We'll do it again there. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see there on the C chord, we're gonna play that for the full 4 beats. And then on the and of beat 4 there, we're gonna go to the G actually in the left hand. And that's just gonna help us transition down to the F, okay? And that's actually the same note that I was mentioning earlier that we use from the intro. Going from the intro to the verse. You see, there it is, that G right there, transitioning us back to our F chord. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole verse. Now let's talk about the pre-chorus. So in the pre-chorus, we're gonna have 4 chords here, so it changes a little bit, but we're gonna just play each chord for 2 beats, okay? Just kind of going through, each chord gets the same length. So we're gonna start here on an A minor chord now. So this is kind of similar to what we played before for the A minor, but instead I'm going to be playing this A in the left hand and then C, E, A in the right hand. Okay. For our next chord, we're going to go down to a G in the left hand, and then I'm going to keep the C and E and then walk down to a G in the right hand, okay? So this is a C chord, but with a G in the bass. So C over G, as we call it. After that, we'll go to our F chord. Just keep walking down in the left hand there, just like we played that before. And then finally, we'll end on our D minor chord, just like we played it before. So in the left hand, you're kind of just walking down A, G, F, and then you skip a note for the last one to D, okay, to D minor. So those 4 chords again: A minor, C over G, F, and D minor. And we're just gonna play 2 beats on each of them like I talked about. So that sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the whole pre-chorus. Nice and simple like that. Okay, so now we're at the final section, which is the chorus here, and the chorus is going to be pretty similar to some of these other sections we learned. Not too much new here. So we're going to start here with an F chord, like we played before, nothing new. A D minor chord as well, just like before. And then similar to in the intro, we're gonna go down to an A minor chord here, okay? So A in the left hand, C and E there, okay? And we're just gonna basically repeat this chord progression 4 times. But, you know, kind of playing it like we did in the verse with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of playing that right hand on every single beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you can add those transition notes that we talked about. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see the transition note there from the A minor back to the F. We're gonna actually just jump up an octave to this top A. And then that'll take us back to our F. So pretty simple there, kind of similar to the verse, but with an A minor chord there at the end is really the only difference. Anyways, that's pretty much all. Let me just play through that one more time. Just like that, and that gets repeated 4 times. Anyways, that's all that I need to teach you so that you can play this entire song for yourself. That's Daylight by David Kushner. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, a comment, and hit that subscribe button. Let me know if you have any questions or anything down in the comments as well. I really enjoyed learning this song and teaching it to you, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.